ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the Status Network, the live TV channel, and this is the Conversation Corner with your host, the author, Andrew Snorton. As we do every second and fourth Wednesday about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have great guests doing great things across entertainment, business, community, and more. And tonight we've got two great guests that'll be here with us, but we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Enigma Entertainment Group, who had to take care of last-minute business as they've got a big event coming up, so you want to make sure to check them out during our first commercial break. So before we get into our first guest, we're going to take care of a quick station announcement or two, as well as announcements about yours truly. First off, if you or someone you know is a filmmaker, whether it's a feature film, documentary, short film, make sure to connect with us at Status Films. Since 2020, we have allowed opportunities for independents to grow, so make sure to check us out at the info at the bottom of the screen, as you'll have access to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and other outstanding platforms. If you or someone you know has an interest in being on the other side of the camera, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a broadcast, special event, pay-per-view options, and more, make sure to connect with us here at the Status Network. We have multiple channels based on your programming preferences, and oh, by the way, you can even go ahead and do pop-up events or more. So make sure to check us out at the information provided, and we can help you make some good things happen. And to stay connected with yours truly, make sure to connect with me on Facebook at the page Author Andrew Snorton, Author A. Snorton on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can even email me for different requests within reason for autographed books and more. So you've got me here, books, audiobooks, author, speaker, and host. So make sure to connect with me. Add to your reading library, including your audio library. So there you have it. And now we're getting ready to go into our first guest for the evening. He's no stranger to the network and no stranger to this show. Basically, when you think about sports and you think about the great game of basketball, I tell you what, the Georgia Spartans, they are one of the semi-pro teams that is based here in the Metro Atlanta area. And even though their regular season has concluded, guess what? They are doing some great community service and outreach. So we're so excited to have Jarrell Sheeran, who is the owner of the Georgia Spartans. Let's go ahead and get him up on the screen. Jarrell, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you back on, and I know you are out and about. Before we get into all the great things that the team is doing this summer and fall, give our viewers a point of reference, again, who you are and a little bit about the team through the lens of playing the game of basketball.
Okay, so the Georgia Spartans have been around since 2011. We are a semi-pro men's basketball team. We play in the UMBL, which is the United Men's Basketball League, and then coming up in the fall, we're going to be playing in the UBA, Universal Basketball Association League.
Okay, awesome. So I know you guys just concluded the regular season in May, but even though the regular season is over, the other part of your season is not over. Walk through a little bit with our viewers about the community service and outreach that is really an extension of this team.
Well, actually, you came out to my DeKalb Fitness Challenge, which I did with Commissioner Larry Johnson. Also had a partnership with Amera Group and 107.9, the radio station, with my partners. And I had sponsors with Kaiser, GenCare, Samsung, and Dr. Libman of the Atlanta Fibroid Center. So we basically did a health and wellness checks. We have vaccine checks. We give away free food, free produce. We did a bicycle rodeo with the kids. So we allowed the kids to get free bikes and skateboards. And the Atlanta Fire Rescue actually taught the kids how to actually ride the bicycle correctly. So we just finished that up. And of course, we just did our Juneteenth Jam last weekend. We also won the basketball game. And we also had some great vendors there giving back and showing the meaning of Juneteenth.
And I want to pivot back to that health challenge for just a moment, because we've heard the terms health is wealth, and we know healthy living, healthy lifestyle. But number one, you were able to partner with local government, and that's big. And number two, just explain, the support you had not only from the business community, but other community-based organizations were out there. So could you dig into that with us just a little bit more?
Okay, yeah. So basically, I had a great mental health partner called Fortified and they actually do mental health and depression. So I had a breakout session with them. Also, and the Zetas actually provide a cooking class for one of their chefs. So actually one of the chefs showed people how to eat and cook healthy with the foods that were actually given away for free. Of course, we had great vaccines, and also had mental health. We had regular health. We had HIV screenings, blood pressure checks by Empowerment Power. And of course, DeKalb County brought out the whole vaccine van to get tested and screened.
And I'm glad you went in detail on that, because it really was, it was, like you said, the health challenge, but even bigger. You and everybody else that was a part of that really provided access to resources, access to information. Like you said, I was able to be there and saw firsthand all the produce and things along those lines. So we definitely have to commend you and everybody for the work you all did with that particular challenge. And then Juneteenth, as we heard, now it's, quote, an official holiday and everything, but walk through with this. This wasn't the first time you've done a Juneteenth event. Walk through with our viewers, not only with what took place last Saturday, but how each year you've been gradually building before all of a sudden Juneteenth is here.
Right, so this is actually my 4th year doing the Juneteenth event. The first year I did it in South Fulton with Commissioner Mark Baker, and we actually had a concert because the weather was beautiful that day. So we had a concert outside, we had art exhibits inside, and we also had a AU basketball game with a men's basketball game. And then last year, we actually tested the waters right after the pandemic had broke in June, and we actually had a great successful event. We had about 300 people come out, but we had them social distancing, make sure we were doing the health screenings. Everybody had to wear a mask. I think people were just excited just to come out, and everything that was going on last year, but we can't breathe and all the protesting, so it was a good relief, a good time for families.
And I'm glad that you're saying that, because some people now all of a sudden, quote, it's the in thing to do, but you've been in the trenches, for lack of a better term, before it became popular. And we have to commend you, the folks that you partner with, your players, everything, for taking a position before it, quote, was the thing to do. So we definitely tip our cap to you. Now, you've coming off of 2 solidly done community service programs, and we know the official first day of summer was earlier this week. Look, once it's Memorial Day, it's hot to me, but you've got more things that are coming up on the horizon. So walk through with our viewers the service-oriented events, not just service, but just great social outings for people to come together, have a nice time, and just continue to build and grow. So walk through with us, a number of the things you already have lined up for this summer.
Okay, so facing on July 10th, we're going to do the Battle with Georgia. So we actually going to have a basketball game featuring my team and a team from Columbus, Georgia coming up to play us. It's going to be live entertainment, vendors, halftime performances. Just a great time for the family to come out July 10th from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Tickets only $10. Kids under 12 is free, so it's a great event for the family to come out and enjoy themselves. Then also doing a summer skate in the park. So that's going to be July 15th from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, totally free. Bring your skateboards, bring your skates, bring your scooters, come out. We're going to do it in the park. We'll have music. We'll have a silent headphone party going on for the kids and the parents. This is not a drop-off event. Please bring yourself with the kids. We're not babysitting, but that's a free event from 4 to 6 at Exchange Park at 2771 Columbia Drive.
I want to pause you there. So like you said, run that back for us again. It's not a drop-off event. Can we hear that one more time, please?
Right. So it's not a drop-off, but we would love for you to come out, we have refreshments so you can enjoy your kids, play with your kids, get on the skates, get on your skateboard with your kids and your family. And also, if you have a scooter, bring your scooter out. We're going to have a mirror group there. We're going to have safe kids, again, teaching people how to properly ride their skates and also skateboards and also your bicycles if you want to bring that out also.
Awesome. So again, not to beat a dead horse, but parents, stick with these great things coming up July 10th, July 15th. So you've already got some great moving parts taking place. But then there's more that you're doing. Walk through with us some of the other things you've got going on this summer.
All right. So July 31st at Georgia Perimeter College, we partner with DeKalb school system, AmeriGroup 107.9, the Zetas, the Omegas, and the Kappas, and we're gonna have 4 bands. We're gonna do a battle of the band and back to school drive. So it's gonna be a drive-through. So we're not letting you get out your car and enjoy it, but you can go to different stations while you're in your car and enjoy the battle of the bands, get school supplies, and get some free produce, and also listen to the radio station also at the same time while you wait. And we're giving away 1,000 school supplies.
Wow. So make sure I have it correct, because I want to say in Metro Atlanta, a lot of the schools will start back that first week of August. And some people, might be a little bit shook, for lack of a better term, for what happened. But it's great that leading into the start of the school year to get the support from different community-based organizations. And again, the goal is to have, you said, at least distribute 1,000 backpacks. Is that the goal?
1,000 backpacks and all the school supplies. So we're going to break them down to age groups. So depending on what your age group is and the list that the schools give us, we're going to have that in the backpack for them.
And I tell you what, and we've seen the rise of school supply drives, and some people have to understand there are families and individuals out there where it is a challenge. So basically July 31st, there's 1,000 reasons for people to be out there and be able to not only lend support, but again, this is helping provide access to resources, especially for our young people. So that's what you have coming up July 31st, but we know summer's still going, so keep on going.
All right, so August 14th, we're doing art in the park. So we're going to showcase some Black art and fine art, graffiti. We're going to have wine tasting. We're going to have live band, live performances, and it's totally free. So we're not charging the artists to get in the showcase, to showcase their art, and we're not charging anybody to come to the event. So it's totally free. Come. Also sponsored by Don Julio and Moscato wine. So just a great time. Bring your family out. Bring your little lawn chairs, listen to some great music, walk around, see some great art.
Well, I tell you what, August 14th, I'm like, see, now people know why August is my favorite month of the year. See, look at that right there. So you have something for the adults, and again, emphasize, especially to our creative community, like you said before, are you right now having a call for different people from the creative community, whether it's, writers or singers or artwork or whatever? What are some of the, I'll say, creatives that you're looking for to help build this great event for the 14th of August?
Okay, so what I'm looking for right now is great artists to showcase their sculptures, graffiti artists, fine art, or Black art. And I'm also always looking for performers to go ahead and fill some time slots up also too. We're going to try to create this every month. So this is going to be the first launch, and try to do it every month, all the way through the wintertime. We're also bring it inside the building also too. But August 14th, 6 to 9, totally free, Exchange Park, 2771 Columbia Drive, Decatur, Georgia.
Wow. So I hope our audience caught that. This is the launch in August, but the goal is to do this every month. So that means, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it'll be some great engagement opportunities for the community, great engagement opportunities for the creative community, and really trying to make the partnership that you have with Exchange Park really that community hub where if there's something big community-wise, this is where you want to go.
Exactly.
Well, that's great. Well, you've got it right here. The events that you've got in July, there's really 3 key events in July, 1 key event in August, and I'm kind of being silly, so if parents are having difficulty after the first 2 weeks of the start of the year, they probably will have August 14th circled on their calendar. But with all that you're doing this summer, which is definitely commendable, there's another thing, and I tell you what, I look at your calendar and I'm like, where do you get the energy? Because you've got a big inaugural event coming up in the month of October. So walk through with our viewers that one that's coming up.
So we have the Dynasty Golf Tournament, and we're actually donating money to the Future Successors, which is a nonprofit that actually gives scholarships to anybody in the tech field. So we're going to do a golf tournament October 12th. Tee-off time is 9 o'clock. You can register on the website, www.dynastygolfclassic. and we have some great partners and great sponsors already. So we just go ahead and get some more players for that. And anybody that want to sponsor a hole, it starts low as $250 on up for sponsorship.
Wow. So again, even in the fall when the weather starts changing and you have your long sleeve and you got your 9-iron and your pitching wedge and your sand wedge, or some people might bring a shovel because their golf game is kind of rusty. You've got something really for everybody coming up during the summer months, during the early fall. And there's always, with everything that y'all do, there is some type of community tie-in. With the golf tournament, right now, would you say that there's a continued call for sponsors as well as players? And even on the playing end, do you have to do it in a group of 4? Or let's say if I wanted to play solo, or maybe me and another person wanted to play, how do those options work?
All right, so you can individually sign up yourself, or you can have a partner, and we can actually pair you up with another 2 players that need a partner, or you can come out and give it a go on your own and be the best.
Okay, awesome. And I'm glad you shared that, because sometimes people are like, great, I got to find 3 other people to play with that are hopefully as good as me, or maybe for some people worse than me, so I look better. But it's good to know, like you said, if you already have a group of 4 that you normally play with, that's great, or there's flexibility there. And remind viewers, especially those viewers out there that have businesses or what have you, that are looking for positive exposure, walk through again those sponsor opportunities. And again, remind people again the nonprofit that's being supported from the Dynasty Golf Classic.
Okay, so it's called Future Successors. The owner is Nikki Watson. Again, she actually helps kids in the tech field to get sponsorships for college. So she does a great event that she does with Georgia Tech every year, that she have over 500 kids, and she actually does a mentoring program. So if you know anybody that owns their own business and want to talk and mentor kids in the technology field, she does a great event every year around February. Of course, the golf tournament is going to be August 12th. It's going to be at Dogwood Golf Club in Austell. The website is www.dynastygolfclassic.com.
Great. Well, like I said, you've got some great things that are taking place this summer, this fall. And as great as the work is the team does on the court, which if you guys haven't seen them play, it is a very competitive experience, fun experience. A number of the players have experience from playing collegiately and overseas. So it's not pickup ball. This is like pretty solid level, high level basketball. But just as solid a job as your team does on the court, off the court, y'all aren't slouches off the court either. Remind our viewers, or stress to our viewers, the importance of striking that balance, because some people talk, but then when it comes time to do, it's 2 different things. Again, for our audience, what makes, how do you keep things in perspective and keep things balanced with everything that you're doing with the team?
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm a man of faith. So you got to have faith and understand that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle, or if he does, he'll help you handle and give you wisdom to figure out how to do everything. I know I juggle a lot between the nonprofit and the basketball, but I think it go hand in hand, because you can't be a servant to God and give back to others. So you got to give back to others to get your blessing in life.
And I tell you what, a number of our guests express and articulate their faith. And, I'll put it like this, stewardship isn't sedentary. In other words, you can't just be sitting still saying you're a steward. You have to be proactive and out there. And one thing that I think that I can say from seeing some things firsthand, and one thing other people can say, is that when it comes to your commitment to stewardship and service, there's really no question about it. There really is no question about it. Again, run down the line with our viewers again, the events that are coming up July, August, and October. If we can run those back one more time.
Okay, so July 10th at 1 o'clock, we have the Battle of Georgia. It's the Georgia Spartans versus the Columbus Blackhawks. Then we also have the Summer Skate Party, which is July 15th from 4 to 6 at Exchange Park in 2771 Columbia Drive, Decatur. Again, this is not a drop-off, but come out and enjoy the fun activities with your kids. Also, we have August 14th, Art in the Park. And then, of course, we always have the Classic Golf Classic, which is October 12th. And that's from 9 o'clock tea time to about 1 o'clock.
Okay, so again, you've heard it directly from the team owner of the Georgia Spartans. They've got some great things in place during, quote, the off season. We definitely want you to make sure to take advantage of these, and of course, don't be greedy. Share the information with other people. Before we wrap up, please remind our viewers the best ways to stay connected with the team, so the website, social media, things along those lines.
Okay, our website is GA Spartans.com. Our IG is Georgia Spartans, so Georgia spelled out, Spartans with an S. My Twitter and my Facebook is Georgia Spartans.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I appreciate you taking time off the road. This man, y'all, when he is synonymous with work. Maybe you need to be synonymous with other words every once in a while, like rest, sleep, stuff along those lines. Yeah, sleep. Okay, we're going to use the S word, sleep. So we're going to go ahead and let you go, but thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. Best wishes with all the different things that you've got going on the court, off the court, in the community. We definitely thank you for your time, Jarrell.
No, thank you again for having me.
Okay, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our first commercial break, and we come back, we're going deep in the heart of Texas. Well, virtually, of course. Stick around for our next guest on the Conversation Corner. Shout out to our friends at Enigma Entertainment Group, as this Saturday, June 26th, Groovin' on the Green is sold out. For those of you who got your tickets for the event at the Southland Golf Course, be prepared for a great night of classic R&B, Southern Soul, DJs, vendors, and more. Speaking of, check out July 25th from 1 to 8 p.m. at Piedmont Park. Our friends at Culture Design Incorporated and She Makes Moves Enterprises are hosting Art in the Park. There's a call for creatives, vendors, and more, so make sure to connect with them today and don't miss out. On July 24th, shouts to our friends in Houston, Texas, Trey the Truth and Friends. They are doing a concert, family fun day, and of course, school supply drive and more. So check the information out in H-Town, show up and show out. Real Women Atlanta magazine amplifies the stories of Black women based in Atlanta. Whether it's corporate, whether it's community, they say ordinary women doing extraordinary things, but let's be real, Black women are extraordinary. So make sure to check them out today. Our friends at the Georgia Spartans are hosting their inaugural Dynasty Golf Classic. It is a charity tournament taking place October 12th. Portion of the proceeds are going to support the Future Successors nonprofit, so get your group together, sponsorship, and more. Remember to stay connected with yours truly on your social media platforms and more, and don't forget to add the books and audio books to your library, reading and listening and more. And thank you so much for supporting the show, The Conversation Corner. And don't forget, we've got merch, and we've got more merch coming. That's right. Get your bracelet, get your mug, and in not too much longer down the road, we are adding another tier of merchandise. So stay connected with yours truly and check out your merch from the author. And speaking of merchandise, we're so excited that Underneath Atlanta is working with us and vice versa. But you need to work with them, so make sure to check them out at Underneath ATL for your merchandise needs and more. Thank you, and let's get back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Conversation Corner, and I tell you what, we're always thankful with all of our guests that come on. They're really doing some great things. So we had a little bit of a tour of Metro Atlanta, but now guess what, y'all? You can go ahead, get your seatbelts on. The airplane is lifting off. And we are virtually making a trip deep in the heart of Texas. Wait, let me get it straight. Houston, Texas, here we come. And when you come to Houston, if you don't get connected with this media presence and what have you, I'm not saying something's wrong with you, but you might want to get your head examined and your itinerary checked. We are so excited to have one of the really, truly solid, energetic, great energy, great sense of humor. The host of Can I Be Mia, which is a show you definitely need to check out. Mia from Houston, Texas is in the building. How you doing this evening?
Hey! Oh my goodness, I need you to introduce me all the time.
I tell you what. I'll tell you what. Hey, send me a ticket. I'm gonna be down there.
Yes,
And
I love it.
Hey, but you know what? And it's real because I remember, before we get into all the great things you're doing, I remember when we met, and it was back in, I tell you what, that event, February 2019 for the Super Bowl, and when we did the Power of Influence Awards, I got a chance to meet you. One of my guests from earlier this month, Jazzy B, for real, doing great work in like Charlotte and Atlanta and all this other stuff. There are a lot of great people that I met, and you are definitely one of them. And I have watched you from afar, and now I get to see you up close and personal on the screen, and I'm like, you know what? You are just handling business. Before we get into your moving parts, give our viewers a little bit of a background. Again, you're based out of Houston. What were some of your other moving parts before you pivoted into the media work that you're doing?
It's so crazy. I'm originally from New York, but I live in Houston. I've been here for a while, and I just started doing my podcast because I'm very opinionated and I have a lot to say. I always have something to say. It doesn't matter what it is, how big, how small. Mia has something to say, and that's what I thought that it was just going to be. That it was just going to be, me just. Being me and saying what I want to say and, disagreeing with people and people disagreeing with me. And it was just going to be something fun, like a hobby, that I just kind of do on the side. Hence, 4 years later, it just turned into so much more that I didn't even think, would happen as far as me hosting, events and just getting to meet so many great people. And I love it. So it definitely started off as a hobby, like, I have something to say, or, I think this is stupid, or, whatever. But it's turned into so much more. And then, you didn't realize how much that I love, like, the media, and I love to interview people, and I love to sit down and talk to people and, get to do and know all that stuff. So, yeah. 4 years later, here I am.
Wow, and it's funny, and it's so funny that you mention it and walk through that timeline, because a lot of times, you do something because you like it and you enjoy it. Then all of a sudden you realize you're good at it, and now all of a sudden it's that intersection of I'm good at something, I like something, and now here's where I am. So, like, to varying degrees, what you were doing as something for fun was helping plant seeds for you doing some real, like, you're doing some major stuff, like, for real. I pay attention. You are doing some major work. Walk through with our viewers just some of the events you've been able to cover, and you haven't just been limited to Houston. I know we, in the intro talked about being here in Atlanta, but walk through some of the events you've covered in the cities you've been able to go to.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was able to be in Atlanta, of course, for the People's Influencer Awards. That's where you and I had met. I've covered the Go DJ Awards, which is really huge here in Houston. Oh my goodness, I've covered so many different things. I was able to go to LA and cover the celebrity basketball tournament. Here, just recently, just actually last week, I was able to host the Community Service Awards Gala, which is huge here in Houston for Juneteenth, as well as the Juneteenth concert in the park that I just hosted this past Saturday. So I've just been super busy. I'm probably leaving out a bunch of stuff, but just super busy and just happy to be able to travel and get to do certain things. I mean, every event is different, so you learn something and you pick something up from it. And either, this is something that I'm going to add to what I do, or, what, maybe I shouldn't have did that, or, said that kind of thing. So, I absolutely love it. And it's just the Can I Be, so the name of my show is Can I Be Mia? And I literally have been able to start a brand. So the brand is Can I Be. So anything that I do, it's always going to be Can I Be before it. And Can I Be Mia just came from just me always just wanting to be who I am, you know, not who I feel like people should accept or whatever, just me, which is, you know, I'm a little loud sometimes and crazy, but I'm fun and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I tell you what. Now, I'm going to politely disagree with you being loud. You have a presence and you project well. In regards to crazy, we're just going to say your creativity, sometimes people just don't know how to process it, so they just haven't found the right word for it. So, yeah, this is definitely, media personalities getting together. But I'm glad that you stressed, you know, the brand. And to varying degrees, it's about forging your own identity, being comfortable in your own skin, and finding your own pathway. And I'm glad that you incorporate that, you know, with your brand, with the show. It's probably a reminder or daily affirmation for you, and definitely for your viewers. It's an affirmation for them. Just speak to that a little bit more, just how that little subtle reminder is part of what keeps you going, what gives you that nudge, what gives you that push.
Well, I think it is because, you know, when you are in any type of spotlight or, you know, in media, it doesn't matter how big or small you are, you know, and you're starting to get noticed and people are starting to notice you and they're walking up to you and they're like, oh, you're so-and-so, you know, you just have to remember to stay who you are. This is me. Like, I don't care. You know, I'm the same Mia from 2018 that started in her living room. Actually, this very living room that I'm sitting in right now with like this little rinky-dink backdrop, you know, to now being able to be in the studio and now being able to travel and now being able to do so many different things. I'm still that same person and I'm always going to be that person. So can I be, you know, can I be Mia? It's like, can I be me? That's somebody that I don't know how to be anybody else. But sometimes, you know, we let social media and all those things kind of change us or make us deflect from who we really are. So it just makes me just always remember, like, you're just you. That's it.
Well, I tell you what, it's one of those, and the word that comes to mind is perspective. Like, you're just keeping it all in perspective. And like you said, regardless of your visibility, it still comes back to who are you, and like you said, being the best you that you can be. So you've got, and I'm glad that you shared the story where you started, because even like you just described, even where you're doing this right now is a reminder to keep it all together, to keep it in perspective. And that's just great advice for anybody across the board, whether you're doing what we're doing or something else. Just keep it in perspective.
That's it. So I'm trying to think. I have so much going on. I started my own brand. I guess it's still Can I Be Mia, but it's called Can I Be Tipsy, which is the name of my business. And I don't know, for everybody, you know, anybody who watches my show, probably for the past few months, you've seen I have a drink of the day. So every week I highlight a different kind of liquor, whether it's, you know, beer, which I don't really like, but whether it's beer or vodka or whatever, I always try to highlight something different, you know, and just, you know, make it fun, or what I mix it with, or if it's a yay or if it's a nay, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I love to host, even off camera. I love to host, and I'm a busybody, and, you know, I love my friends, and, you know, I love game nights and stuff. So I always try to do like fun stuff. And I started this little pouch. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I love this. This is really cute. It's, you know, an adult Capri Sun. And somebody had it one day and said, oh, this is so good. You know, are you selling this? I'm like, no, you know, I do this for my friends. And a few more times that happened. And a friend of mine had a pop-up shop. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just bring some of these to the pop-up and see what happens. And I sold out. So I was like, hey, you know, maybe this is something that I need to do. So hence started Can I Be Tipsy? So now I have four different drinks that I do. And they're all can I something. Like this one is called Can I Be Classy? I have a Can I Be Sexy? I have a Can I Be Bossy? Can I Be Sweet? Can I Be Sour? Everything is Can I Be. But it's taken off like much faster than I even imagined. And it's only been a few months, so it's hard for me to keep up with it, but
well, I'll tell you what, clearly you have a gift, and maybe just hypothetically speaking, because of something called COVID and people are at home and needed some liquid therapy. Here you are, there you are. And because it looks like liquid therapy. It's in a pouch, for crying out loud. Look at that. That looks like that's liquid therapy right there, ladies and gentlemen. 21 and older.
It is.
21 and older. But liquid therapy in the building. That's why I'm sitting here like
it is. It is fun. Like you literally, it has these two little, you can carry it around. It's resealable. Like it is just the cutest thing. And I love that you call it liquid therapy because that's what it is. And my names, hence the names, you know, if you're feeling classy, you know, you could feel bossy one day, you know, you could feel tropical. So I have all of these different names, you know, based on how you feel for the day.
Well, I tell you what, you're definitely on to something right there, because just like I said, I'll just have visions of liquid therapy. I need some liquid therapy. And there you have it. So thank you for planting that seed in my head. Yes, thank you. So
I'm going to ship you. I am going to ship you a few.
Yes, winning. Yes, I'm
so
winning.
My company, we do ship you guys, and you get them nice and cold. But yes, I'm going to ship you a few so you can give me your review on my Can I Be Tipsy drinks.
Oh, goodness. You know what? Hey, being over 21 has its privileges. Yes, it sure does. So here you've got the great show that you do, which is every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. You've got the Can I Be series with the liquid therapy. You're covering, events. And I know you've got some on the horizon, and especially for any of our viewers deep in the heart of Texas, Houston, and the surrounding area, let people know some of the things you've got coming up. So, hey, if you're already in the city, or we know people like to road trip, you can ride down, I-10, I-35, you can do a little something. So walk through some of the things you've got coming up.
For everybody that's in Houston now, tomorrow I have a pop-up coming up. So Can I Be Tipsy will definitely be there. And I am revealing 2 new flavors. So I'm super excited about that. I have my tasting coming up on Saturday at Blue Liquor Store. So my Can I Be Tipsy shots are actually in a liquor store. Proud moment. So that tasting is Saturday. Oh gosh, what else do I have coming up? I think that's it for my June calendar. July, I'll actually be doing a lot of traveling. I'll be in New York. I will be in Atlanta twice. Just kind of doing some businessy stuff. But if you see me around, say hi.
Wow. And again, and I keep saying wow because I'm thinking back to, what you were saying earlier. Where you're doing this is exactly where you started, and it's hopefully it's doing some positive seed planting for a number of our viewers. Doesn't matter where you start, and a lot of starts come very humble, but clearly having that work ethic, having that focus, tapping into your creativity, tapping into the things that you're good at and passionate about, it can take you places. And like you said, 4 years later, You already know July, you and frequent flyer miles are going to get well acquainted. But that's awesome. And then going back with the Can I Be, with the liquid therapy, you're in a liquor store, package store. You're doing tastings tomorrow, tastings on Saturday. That doesn't happen overnight. That's just a byproduct of you being dedicated to your craft. Just explain to our viewers just the focus and resolve you have to have, because sometimes these pathways aren't always straight and they're not always as smooth as sandpaper. But walk through, I'll say, whether you want to call it spiritual grounding, to resolve, to focus, walk through. You know, you've already explained, this is where I started, this is where I am, but walk through the traits that you feel have helped you get here and are going to help keep you going further.
I think the first thing that I honestly, you have to believe in you and your capabilities. And sometimes that's hard, you know, like when we're born, we're like, okay, you grow up, you graduate high school, you go to college or not, or whatever, and you start working and you get a job and you get a career, and, you know, these are the things that you do, and this is, you know, what we're taught. And, you know, I was, you know, and I still work my regular job, but not as much. But, you know, director of financial aid, and I'm like, this is it for me. Like, this is what I do. I'm great at it. You know, I love talking to my students and doing all of this stuff, and I love it. And then I started doing this hobby, and I was just like, I'm even better at this than I am at this. But you have to take a leap of faith sometimes, and you really just have to believe in yourself. And when you're on that journey, you have to have support. People think, oh, I could do this, but nobody has gotten anywhere by themselves. I don't care who you are. I don't care. So you have to have support, but you have to make sure that you build a team that wants it for you just as much as you want it for yourself. And I have been absolutely blessed to have that. Absolutely blessed. My team is small, but we are so mighty. And when I tell you, like, if I say I'm going to host something in the women's bathroom at the airport, they are there. They are bringing people. And that's what you need, you know? So definitely having a team that supports you and that's there for you. And, you know, people on my team, a lot of them, we didn't know how to do a bunch of stuff, but they learned it and it wasn't for them, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? So when you have somebody that's willing to go out of their way and learn how to do something for you, so you know, can better your craft and your brand, I mean, I think that's amazing. So definitely you have to believe in yourself, and then you have to just get you a team of really true friends and somebody that believes in you and where you're trying to go.
And I'm so glad you broke that down. We've had other guests that have emphasized the importance of team, the importance of people being as locked in as you are, being as invested as you are. And like you said before, now I don't know if I'll be able to host a show in the men's room, but I'm going to host a show and do something. And I'm thankful to the people that come through consistently. But but I'm glad again that you're sharing this. So for viewers out there who are thinking about taking that leap of faith or assembling your team, or I'm good at something, I'm passionate at something, should I really go further? It's real important that you and other guests are like, yes, you should. And sometimes you have everything all there, which makes it, quote, a little bit easier. Sometimes it's like you got to jump in feet first. And I'm glad you articulated both. So for viewers out there, just beyond what we're doing, here's some real life stuff that hopefully people can take away. So you've got the show, you've got, you know, the merch in liquid form, you've got all these other great things. What do you think is going to be the next step or next, I'll say, creative challenge that you think you're going to take on?
Wow. I don't know. It's just, everything is so crazy now with, you know, Can I Be Tipsy and really getting it, you know, up and running. But I think the next thing that I plan to do is city tours. So I plan to take Can I Be Mia on city tours. So I want to hit, of course, Atlanta, Chicago, Louisiana, New York, you know. So that's the next thing that my team and I are planning, is to set up some city tours where I get to just go and people really get to see me and what I'm about. And, I have so many followers and so many listeners, and, you look at, who's watching, like, where are they watching from? So those cities that I just mentioned are my top cities. So I want to get out there and, get to meet them and do some live shows and just have a really good time and just be me.
Well, I tell you what, you and your team, like you said, 4 years in, and you are still moving at a solid pace. Remind viewers of the best ways that they can stay connected with you, including the liquid therapy, but also for your show, because you're doing outstanding work with your broadcast as well. You really are.
Thank you. Okay, so you guys, I am Can I Be Mia on all social media. So it's literally how it sounds, CANIBEMEA, and that is on Instagram. I am on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and you want to catch any past shows, you can definitely hit up my YouTube channel, like and subscribe, of course, and then every show from day one is on my Can I Be Mia Facebook page. Can I Be Tipsy? Same thing. Everything is Can I Be Tipsy? So you ever see the Can I Be? Trust me, I'm probably behind it.
That is awesome. Well, Mia, I tell you what, thank you so much for taking time to be with us. Obviously, best wishes with everything going on starting tomorrow. Well, already, but definitely starting for tomorrow, this weekend. Safe travels as you're out there. And thanks for looking out, y'all. Look, closed mouths don't get fed. I'm getting some liquid therapy. Yes, that would be me. Hey, that is all right. So thank you so much again, Mia. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our next commercial break, and we come back, we're going to go ahead and tie up just a couple of loose ends. So stick around for the Conversation Corner.
See the band, hear the band, book the band. The Ear Candy Experience. Make sure to connect with them at the information provided for your music needs. And remember, they are the official music sponsor for the show, The Conversation Corner, with your host, the author, Andrew Snorton. 1820 hats, custom men's and women's fedoras with a message, meaning, and more. Remember, your hat is your crown. So connect with them today at the information provided. And remember to live free. Check out the new release by Moyani. The track is You from Savior Records. It is a powerful, compelling piece that will make you feel good, feel better. So check it out at the platforms provided, and check out the interview on the website for Creative Community Solutions. Visit asnortonccs.com/blog for the full interview and more, and connect with them anyway for your education, press and media, and writing service needs. Doing good, but doing it greater. And speaking of the host, yes, May, June, there's been a bevy of interviews. So make sure to check out the following features and more from these great outlets and other groups. And connect with me July 30th and 31st, as I'm one of the featured speakers for the Black Writers Workspace virtual book relaunch party. It's a festival, y'all, so make sure to check it out at the information provided. And now here's more. Hey everyone, this is the author Andrew Snorton. Don't forget to get a copy of Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton for the poetry lovers, 9 Stories of Faith Volume 1 for people who enjoy stories of motivation and encouragement, and Nothing Minor, which covers my 2019 coverage of minor league baseball. But make sure to check out these awesome independent bookstores pretty much across the Midwest, the Southwest, and the Southeast. We have to remember that our small independent bookstores give authors like me and any author a reasonable chance to get their books on the shelves, and in purchasing from them, you're not only supporting me, but you're supporting some great businesses who are promoting wonderful authors and more. Stay connected with me to find out about these and other great bookstores that I'll be adding, and don't forget to get a copy of my books, the audiobooks, add me on your social media platforms and more. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back as we get ready to gradually wind down our show. First off, I want to thank our earlier guests, Jarrell Sheeran, the owner of the Georgia Spartans, the semi-pro basketball team based in Metro Atlanta. We want to thank them. And we also want to thank Can I Be Mia, based out of Houston, Texas. And yes, I'll be looking forward for that shipment. And also, we were scheduled to have Enigma Entertainment Group. They unfortunately could not be with us tonight, but part of the reason why is they've got their Grooving on the Green event, which takes place this Saturday, June 26th. It's a sold-out event, and anyone who has done any type of event, you know the week of, there's always some things to do. So we still want to shout out Enigma Entertainment Group, obviously wishing them tremendous success with their event. So there's a couple of announcements that we'll take a little bit of time on before we wind down. First, in regards to, keeping people uplifted and encouraged, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the family, friends, and loved ones of Marilyn Brown. Now, this is someone who I never got a chance to physically meet, but she was based in Baltimore, so shouts to the DMV. In addition to her being an author, she was a huge advocate of authors being able to connect with readers, book clubs, bookstores, and she established multiple book groups to where authors like me got a chance to interview. So I remember getting a chance to interview with her in December 2018, and then another time, and anytime I'm sharing my author info, she was always someone who would make sure to repost and reshare. So she passed on Monday, and we want to extend prayers and condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of Marilyn Brown. I'd also be remiss if I didn't give a shout to my fellow alums of my high school graduating class. I'm not going to name the year, but graduating class of Ocean Township High School, as we had one of our classmates, Mr. Tony Nelson, pass on Sunday. So leading into Sunday for Father's Day, that is definitely, a challenge in and of itself. So you want to extend prayers and condolences and words of encouragement to the family, friends, loved ones, and fellow classmates. So by the same token, in moving forward, you'll notice I'm a little bit casual, but hey, let me see if I can move something. If I can slide over. Wait, before I hurt myself. All right, I'm not going to move. But anyway, I don't know how much closer we can get, but I want to give shouts to Underneath Atlanta, as we are teaming up with Underneath Atlanta as well as Low Key Dope. So you are seeing the prototype of the merch, which will be available in the coming days. So it's the Origin series. I wonder if I can move my mic. Can you still hear me fairly well? You can still hear me? My voice is projecting. So we've got the street in the front. We've got my logo right here. We've got Low Key Dope right here. And then let me see if I can turn it around. Wait. People moving. Well, should I stand up? It's working. So then you've got the hashtags Author A. Snorton Origins and Author A. Snorton. Let me see if I can move back here with the smoothness. Ooh. Yes, so make sure we'll be updating the purchase info on that, as that'll be the next wave for merchandise and things along those lines. So last couple things before we wind down. Remember, we air every second and fourth Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So our next live broadcast will be July 14th. So we got a little bit of a gap, so definitely make sure to mark your calendars. Don't forget to go to the website, statusnetwork.net, and when you see the big old pop-up box, go ahead and click the box for Conversation Corner. That way you can get the notifications when we're on, and make sure to subscribe and make sure to catch up on all the guests we have. We have a little bit of everybody from entertainment, business, community, and more. So if this is your first time watching the show, thank you very much. Please don't let it be your last, and go ahead and show how much you share. Use your social media and click on share. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and ride out into the sunset with our quick 1-minute teaser, which shows a little bit from all 3 seasons. I will see you July 14th.
So I always go back to that, and I always feel that Lisa is kind of guiding me. Lisa is putting people in front of me that need. So you have the darkness here. Every hat tells a story, because everything is like I told you before. Everything is faith-based. These hats have different colors. I would love for you. Oh, there it is on the screen.
No. We have been present. Alpha Phi Alpha, like I said, was founded in 1906, and we've been present in front of the scenes and behind the scenes at every important pivotal moment in American history since 1906.
Entertainment, business, community, and more. Join us every second and fourth Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Status Network, the live TV channel, for the Conversation Corner hosted by the author Andrew Snorton. And let's have a conversation.
Shown on the Status Network, live TV, and let's have a conversation. We'll see you soon.